Welcome to Truth and Reconciliation with Buki Shonoga. This special episode, Sunday with Mrs. Fogel, is with my special guest, Mrs. Fogel, my neighbor, who I've adopted as my grandmother. Mrs. Fogel turned 97. Can you believe it? 97. Earlier this year, I believe February 13. She's going to confirm that in a minute. And it's just such a blessing. Thank you so much for talking to me, for being my neighbor, for being my grandma, for, just sharing all your wisdom with me. I really appreciate it. And I wanted to just connect with you this afternoon to chat some more. We're always talking. So what does it feel like to be 90? By the way, you look so wonderful. You do not look 97 at all. How does it feel to be 97?
How do I feel?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Oh my God. 97. Go ahead.
Yeah. At 97,
Wow.
I feel good. I don't know how I would feel if I wasn't 97.
Right.
But I feel good.
This is really you look wonderful.
And I thank God that He let me be 97.
Yes, indeed. You were telling me in our last conversation that you would be married how many years? 75 years? When? You remember you were saying when? What date? When did you get married?
August 24, 1946.
1946.
I was 22.
Oh, 22. I can't even imagine. Wow. So August 24, next month, it would be how many years that you were married?
Yeah.
It would be how many years? 70, you said 7, I don't know the math.
75,
75 years,
76, or
75
whatever it
years.
is,
Yeah.
See, I was a girl.
Yeah, I see. That's really beautiful. Let me, listen, why not? Let's zoom in on this and show her wedding picture. Unbelievable. Look. Can you see that?
Put it after.
Yeah, you put it after. Wow, 97. Unbelievable. And I remember your husband, Willie, right?
Uh-huh.
I remember him, a very nice man. You remember Willie? He's always saying hello to us. We always see him downstairs, and he look you in the eye and he say good morning or good afternoon. Really, really wonderful man. So, you were married at 22. Were you living in Harlem then?
514 Lenox Avenue,
514 Lenox Avenue.
right where Harlem Hospital is now.
So that was just an apartment building at that time, or
Yeah, it was a apartment building.
yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't a hospital.
Mm.
So tell us what Harlem was like in when you were 22. So you were 97. 97
me-
minus 22. I don't know.
To me, it was good. We enjoyed ourselves. We didn't have anything, but we enjoyed ourselves.
Well, you
Yeah.
had your family. Yeah.
Yeah, it was not like now.
How?
Now it's like a jungle.
Really?
Really.
Okay.
When we came up, we never locked the door.
Hmm.
When we locked the door, it was at night.
Really?
Just come in. I don't know if your mother's home. You know what I mean? My sisters and things were there, and it was all right. You know. But now, I got old now. I be looking for the door to lock it. I might shake it at night. You know. But one night I didn't. I left the key in the door. Yeah. And my other neighbor, she took it out that morning. She said that she knocked on the door, but back in that room, I don't hear nothing.
Right.
You know. And I looked for the key until 12 o'clock. So I said, oh, I know my niece had a key. So I'll go out and I'll slam the door.
Mm-hmm.
When I opened the door, note was on the door. Miss Girl, your key down in the mess. I said, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know.
Right.
She said, I knocked on the door, but nobody, you didn't answer. So she took the key out.
But I want to go back to that when you were 22. I just couldn't even imagine. Obviously, I wasn't born then, no. So, I wasn't even in this country, so I didn't even know where America was. I mean, again, I wasn't born, so it wouldn't have mattered. But at 22, so you were saying it's a jungle now, so there were less people in Harlem. It wasn't this busy, right?
No,
There were
this many people wasn't in Harlem.
Right. So what was the life like? We hear about Harlem all the time and all these celebrities and all these, there were nightclubs, the Cotton Club and all the other, and this was Savoy.
Yeah.
Where we are now was a nightclub.
We used to go up there to Savoy. We lived down there and we went up there to Savoy when the big bands used to leave from downtown. Mm-hmm. They would come up here and play at the Savoy. And the most, it was a quarter.
A quarter? 25 cents to get in the club. Oh my gosh.
Sometimes it was cheaper, The Apollo.
Yeah.
All that was cheap.
So the Apollo's been there that long, yeah.
We was teenagers then,
Mm-hmm.
And we enjoyed ourselves.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I see some of the black and white pictures from back in the day.
It was, it was nice. We went out. We came in. You didn't go out unless, your parents know you're going out.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's different.
Mm-hmm.
Like my nieces and things, they tell me, I have a problem with the sheet on the bed.
Okay.
And don't let the elastic come out. Wrinkle, wrinkle, wrinkle. So I said to her, when I get finished with these sheets, I'm going to get me one that you put on it and tuck it on. She said, where you get that from? They don't make those anymore.
Oh.
They don't make those anymore, So I said, well, I'm behind the time.
Right. Well, the sheets, what do you mean? That doesn't slide up the bed? I don't understand.
Yeah, they get wrinkled. The elastic that holds them.
I see. That hold this under the mattress.
It comes out. That's, to me, it nags me.
Yeah, I understand.
So she told me, where you going to get sheets like that from? They don't make those anymore. I'm here a long time.
Right. How did you meet Willie? How did
I meet him? Well, he came from down, everybody that come from different places down south, they always meet together. I don't know how they get together, but since one over here, they came from down south, I met him when I was, teenager. So he went in the service. And when he came out, we used to write when he came out. Then he came out in 45, and we got married 46.
He was in the army?
Hmm?
Was he in the army?
Yeah, he was in the army,
Right, you say you used to write letters?
He was in there 3 years. He was telling me about all the places that when he was in France.
Okay, it was in France.
And, like Germany side,
Mm-hmm. And you used to write letters to each other?
Yeah, and when he was in there.
Do you remember? I mean, you wrote letters to him, and he wrote letters to you.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Do you remember anything you...
Nah, a lot of things like that I forget.
But they love letters? Why do they love letters?
I forget, things like that,
Yeah.
Sometimes I think about the time, but that's gone. So I just think that God said, in your old age, He would take care of you.
Right.
You know. So I think He's doing it. Bring you
Oh, thank you.
into my life, your mother,
Yeah,
you know.
thank you.
So, in a way, He said He's taking care of me.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's really wonderful.
I thank Him for that.
And I'm just really, go ahead, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I'm just really amazed that you live by yourself. I mean, you do everything by yourself. You go to the store, you go to the drugstore to pick up your medication, you do your grocery, you do your laundry. God, please, when I'm 90, I want to live till I'm 97 like her, and let me be able to walk and talk. And most importantly, your mind is intact. Your brain is, it's just amazing that you're so blessed that you remember everything. I mean, it's just really, I mean, and you watch the news 24/7. So I know you've seen other older people like yourself. You want to compare notes. How do you feel about that?
I feel sometimes I say, well, and you read the Bible, it's what God say. You know, this time, and this is the time. If you believe, you can see what's happening now.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm.
So, don't worry about it, you know. Because that I always say, I live my time.
Oh, you're still here.
Because out of all my sisters and brothers, sometimes I said, you know, I'm older than my mother. But my mother lived 94.
Oh, that's a long time too.
Yeah.
That's a real long time.
And my age, I'm over what she was when she died. You know.
And you're not the youngest. You're the second to the youngest, right? You have a younger sister, right?
And yeah, my younger sister, she passed away. She was a nurse. She had one son. He's a nurse. You know. So, what more can you ask for?
Yeah. You know, I wonder, from some of the things I read and some of the little research I have done, I think the fact that you're always watching the news, you know everything that's going on, that might have something to do with how, you keep, how do I put it, you keep young and you keep alert. And your brain as well, because what the researchers turned out, is that when someone is always active and you keep your brain active, that keeps you young. That might, explain why at 97 you look like this and you're so alert. Yeah.
I watch now mostly MSNBC.
Okay.
And I watch my General Hospital.
You saw in General Hospital? Oh my God. Old episodes of General Hospital.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
General Hospital I watch. And from there I'm watching the news, that other thing that's on there. I don't want to be bothered with it, So I watch that.
You were watching the basketball when I came yesterday.
I watched that.
You watched?
Yeah.
Which one?
My cousin, he used to play with the Globetrotters.
Oh, okay.
Bobby Hunter.
Okay.
So I got into all the sports, Or the Dodgers, I was crazy about them.
Oh.
We used to go see the Dodgers, What?
At the Yankee Stadium, right?
No. It was in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Then they went to Los Angeles.
Okay. Wow. So you were telling me yesterday that you played baseball. You were a pitcher.
When I was a pitcher.
Oh my God. How old were you then?
All the sports, teenagers,
How old were you then?
And who think about age back then?
Right.
The kids, they never think about age. Always, you had to be in your group.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like say, if you were 15, most of the kids that were with you, they were 15, 14,
Mm-hmm.
Then you keep going up, you get to another bracket, and,
Yeah.
you was in, like that. But we wasn't with, like, when you were coming up, kids had to be your age,
Mm-hmm.
See, you couldn't have nobody 20
Right.
and 18 in your they're not your group, your parents would say in a minute. They're not with you. What sentence did you want? What's her mother?
Right. Everybody
You
looked
always
after
have to
everyone.
find out who was this one parents.
Right.
That, it was something that I guess maybe it would be different now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But I'm just so amazed that you actually played baseball. That's like,
Yeah.
really?
hmm But everybody know everybody
Right.
parents.
Right.
That's how it was when I come up. But it's not that way now, but it's a different thing. It's different now.
We also we have, of course, we have a lot in common. That's why we connect. But you actually worked in the government district.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the government district. I worked as a model for many years. What were you? You were working for Adolfo, right? Adolfo
Yeah.
was one of the labels back then.
I
In
worked for Adolfo.
well, that was in where, in the 70s or 80s?
No. And you making me think back now. That was, that was in the 50s,
Wow.
the 60s and things like that. When
Okay.
he was in, I have to go look at my statements and things.
Right.
When
And
it was like during that time,
it's-
I get it now. I was 50.
oh, you were 50. So that was 47 years ago.
And we
Right. That would
did
be in the 70s, I think.
what I got on this is some of his fabric.
Wow.
The pieces
Yeah.
is made it from strap.
Wow.
Put it together and
Beautiful.
make a dress.
And look at how nice from since then it's still intact.
Yeah,
Look at this. This is beautiful.
and make a dress.
And the fabric back then, they were really good fabric. They were all made here in the U.S.,
Yeah.
I think. And look at how long
Only
this
thing,
lasted.
this piece in here.
Uh-huh.
But all of these were pieces. Like when you make the thing and then you throw the straps
Right.
away.
Uh-huh.
You can make nothing out of it. So put them together. See, I was working with a designer.
Uh-huh.
He, it was his business,
Mm-hmm.
but she was the designer of all that work.
I
They
see.
would bring things, like if they see something, someplace that they like, they would bring it, and she would turn it into something else.
Right. I remember so sometimes they it's called a knockoff. They will knock it off. They will
Yeah.
break it down to pieces and change the style around a little
Yeah,
bit.
it
and-
wouldn't be the same,
Yeah.
but the one that she did look better than the one that they
They copied. Mm-hmm.
from,
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause she used to bring it and she used to say to me, "Girlie, I know you can do this here." Here,
Hmm.
yeah, all right. She'd get it, and the place where you see, Adolfo never had a factory of his own,
Mm-hmm. Right.
He had somebody else. He had a showroom.
Right.
That was his. And he would come in with all this stuff, Ellen, the man would come and get Helen. He would bring it, but he never see that work until Helen did it, and they carried over to that office. And I remember I made this blouse for Miss Reagan. I even had the
Oh, Miss Reagan.
the picture
former,
here.
the former first lady.
Uh-huh.
Whoa, Nancy
And-
Reagan.
I mean that I brought that had a lot of pictures here. But over the years, they got that. I mean, and when she come back, she took it over to the this place where he had all his work, was done. He had people working for him, but he never had a factory of his own.
Right.
And she said to me, she come back, she said, "Girlie," he said,
She said perfect.
I said, he said, perfect. Oh, I mean, what we did just sat there, looked to see how the work was done. He had all of his fabric, the pieces and things that they cut out. So many they can't join it together.
Right.
So they just throw it over in the trash. We go pick it out. And whatever it was, Helen had an eye.
Mm-hmm.
She could
She's a designer. Yeah.
look and see where that thing was. And she would put all those notches there. And she said to me, "Now, girlie, hey, girlie, you sewed this here." And when it come out, it's a full piece of material.
Mm.
And you could, make, but, she didn't get the thing that she should have gotten, but
What do you mean? You mean the
She
recognition for her
yeah,
work?
but
She was the
she
designer.
made a living.
Right.
She sent her the daughter
Mm-hmm.
graduate from Columbia over here, and the son, he wanted to be a dentist, but he wound up in the banking thing, and they all moved to California.
So that was the designer, Ellen. Do you remember her last name?
The Sauze,
Okay.
Helen de Sauze.
I'm wondering
And,
what design is that Jewish or?
She came from Trinidad.
Oh, she's from Trinidad.
Uh-huh.
The designer.
Yeah, she's from
Interesting.
Trinidad. Her daughter graduated from Columbia over here. The son went to Pittsburgh for the dentist, but her money,
Mm-hmm.
and so he changed.
Wow.
And he went
Ellen
to
from Trinidad. That's interesting.
this college in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
He graduated from there.
Okay.
A banker.
That's
Mm-hmm.
okay. Adolfo. I don't remember. I remember that label Adolfo. That was before my time. But when I came to the industry in the early '80s, mid '80s, Adolfo was still alive. Because they were selling to Lord and Taylor,
Yeah.
Macy's, and some of those
But
stores.
they say he died.
They said, wait, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the store Alexander?
In what?
There was this department store called Alexander.
In the Bronx?
Was it in the Bronx? I thought they had. Okay.
In
And
the Bronx.
Gimbal was on.
Alexander. Well,
Yeah.
it's been going a long time.
Yeah, a long time ago. I was just thinking of the store that were around then.
Mm-hmm.
But you're saying Ellen, is black. I mean, she's still alive. But was she younger than you? She was younger than you.
Mm-hmm. She was younger than me.
Yeah. But you say you were 50. Did you start before that, or you started at 50? How did you?
No,
That was
I started with her, earlier.
Yeah.
But see, it was in my age. See, it was before 50, but
But you worked with her when you were.
that time,
Mhm.
I was younger when I was there.
I see.
But it's like 50.
Okay. You worked in that industry for a while.
Yeah.
But you worked with her around
Because
50.
when I left there, I turned 50 on another job that I had.
I see. Okay.